Assalamu alaikum. I pray and I hope that you people are good, in good spirits. This is almost the second last week of the semester. I must congratulate you for all your sustenance, for all your hard work, and for all holding on to these basically very disturbing times. This week we are going to discuss the recent past three presidents, Clinton, Bush Jr. and Barack Obama. Bill Clinton has many things special to himself. He was a Democratic president from Democratic Party after 12 years. And then he was also the first chief executive after the baby boom years. And I'm sure you know the baby boom generation, the Second World War generation. He brought an emphasis on youth, on vitality and cultural diversity to Washington. Inaugural celebrations included different inaugural balls for different music tastes. So it was basically rock and roll also from the Vietnam War era. And his cabinet included 3 African Americans and 2 Latinos. 3 cabinet posts went to women. So these were great steps, breaking the ice of superiority of only one race and becoming inclusive and pluralistic in their politics. His first nominee to the Supreme Court was Ruth Bader Ginsburg, only the second woman to sit on the court. And Clinton claimed several victories because of his such actions on domestic issues during his first term. He ended the Reagan era's ban on abortion, which has been a great demand in America. And he started a counseling practice in family planning clinics, pushed through Congress a family leave program for working parents, established the American Core program, which allowed students to repay their college loans through community service, and secured passage of the Brady Bill, which instituted a 5-day waiting period on handgun purchases. So if you see at the surface, there are things to support the family, to support the students, to make it easy for them to pursue their higher education and to stop the ammunition race in the society. Most importantly, Clinton obtained new economic legislation. In 1993, he wanted a deficit reduction plan, which required a tie-breaking vote of Vice President Al Gore to pass the Senate. It increased the tax and it reduced the federal deficit by lowering the interest. I'm sure you people are aware that these days in Pakistan, the interests are being lowered to sustain a very weak economy. White House efforts to reshape the healthcare system collapsed. Hillary Rodham Clinton led a task force that produced a plan so complex that few understood it. Even worse, it pleased virtually no one. So that became like a not success. Clinton also faced personal problems. Hillary Rodham Clinton's prominent role in the failed healthcare effort fueled criticism of her public activities. The Clintons' joint involvement in financial dealings in Arkansas, particularly those connected to a bankrupt savings and loan institutions and a failed land development called Whitewater. It also drew a lot of criticism. In August 1994, a 3-judge panel appointed Kenneth Starr, a conservative Republican, to replace the independent prosecutor. And who was appointed in January, and he was charged with investigating the Whitewater affair. Starr moved aggressively to expand his inquiry into new allegations and seemed intent on securing an indictment against at least one of the Clintons. For Clinton, it was a difficult task. It was a Republican Congress and it was a Democratic White House. So there were always frictions, and these frictions basically impacted on economy. The stock market, led by the investment in technology companies soared to new heights in what called a speculative bubble. Traditional Democrats often complained that benefits of this general expansion were distributed unequally. The worst impact was on the agricultural economy because it continued to push smaller farm community off the lands. The gap between earnings of corporate executives and ordinary workers grew steadily larger, and the wealthiest 10% of households still own 90% of the nation's stock holdings. Doesn't it sound familiar, even in our domestic case? Yet most people did see their economic fortunes improve, unemployment figures steadily fell, and real income began to grow for the first time in nearly 15 years. And that made Clinton successful politically. His stock rose because of the overhauling the welfare system. The national welfare system created in the New Deal and Great Society provoked bitter controversy. Its proponents claimed it would encourage states to experiment with new programs that would reduce their welfare costs and create job opportunities. And they thought that it will have an impact on the daily lives of children, especially if states provided inadequate child care, nutritional and medical care programs. The new welfare law helped to remove several potential domestic issues from the political campaign of 1996, a turn that especially helped Bill Clinton. In 1996, Clinton capped a political comeback. Independent prosecutor Kenneth Starr secured no new indictments, and White House corruption never became a major issue during the campaign. But after the election, Clinton and congressional Republicans cooperated by passing legislation that established a timetable for reducing the federal deficit. That was a great step towards correcting the economy. He also launched a national conversation about racial issues, pressed for programs to improve education, and secured a measure extending healthcare coverage to several million children from low-income families. But the nation's political life during 1998 and early 1999, however, revolved not around new legislative initiatives, but around new charges about the president's personal behavior. This Mona Lewinsky case, as all of us know, really took away every victory from Clinton. Clinton was denying, but he has to crumble, and he crumbled and pleaded guilty. The impeachment imbroglio damaged Clinton's personal reputation, but his popularity actually grew during the final 2 years of his presidency. More broadly, the national political climate changed between 1992 and 2000. Clinton and other New Democrats succeeded in reviving their party's fortunes. Once revealed by Ronald Reagan as the party of the misery index, the Democrats became associated with economic growth. For nearly half a century, we must remember that American policy has been very much influenced by the post-Cold War foreign policy. And the union about the USSR and the USA into peace efforts was not taking anybody anywhere. The post-Cold War concerns also drew Clinton's attention. In February 1994, a high-ranking CIA official, Aldrich Ames, pled guilty to selling information to Soviet Union and Russia, and this was a big blow. So Clinton then started shaping new policies on weapons of mass destruction. He dismantled some of the US nuclear arsenal and tried to curtail the potential danger from other nuclear powers. In the same year, The highly secret Project Sapphire transferred enriched uranium stocks from Kazakhstan to storage facilities in the United States. Jimmy Carter helped negotiate a complicated agreement with North Korea over nuclear weapon. Throughout the rest of the world, the United States successfully pressed many nations to sign a new nuclear non-proliferation treaty in the spring of 1995. In early 1998, Clinton went to the brink of war with Iraq to maintain international inspections of Saddam Hussein's weapons program, but after enduring punishing airstrikes, Iraq still expelled the investigators. Clinton particularly emphasized efforts to move China towards capitalism. He reversed his election year position and granted China, despite its dismal record on human rights, equal trading status with other nations. And Clinton claimed that all of these efforts to expand trade with the emerging free market economies in Eastern Europe and Latin America provided the framework for a new era of global prosperity. And then comes the long election, the election of 2000. It had a retro quality. Al Gore once again was on the ballot. This time he headed the ticket with Connecticut Senator Joseph Lieberman, an Orthodox Jew, as his running mate. The campaign stirred few passions. Bush claimed that his record as governor of Texas showed that he could work with Democrats and pursue policies grounded in compassionate conservatism. So this was basically preparation for the junior Bush to come in the President House or the White House. So we will do it in the next lecture. Thank you so much.